55 car in front of him. Or is that... Yeah, it is the 55. I like my screen. It's telling me stuff, and I can actually read it. They've gone by. Fantastic battle, and you're right in the heart of it. And again, look at the shadow growing. The lights are getting closer behind the Porsche on the run to Indianapolis.
There's very fast run up.
You can see the shadow all the way. Looking.
Oh, no! Do not do that. Oh, dear. No, not in Paris. No, that was for the director cutting away for a battle for position for third place that looked like it was all going to shape up there at Indianapolis. Didn't quite get round to happening. What does my timing screen show? My timing screen still shows 91 in front of 97. It's very close. In fact, the Aston is having to get back in front of the 55 Ferrari. And the Aston, down to the Porsche curves, lunges in front and then doesn't lunge in front. So the timing screen is showing me funny things. Let's take a quick break while our heart rate comes back down to normal. Welcome back to nighttime racing at the Circuit de la Sarthe. It is the 90th anniversary of the world's greatest endurance motor race. Live coverage here on Eurosport, wherever you're watching, whether it's night for you too. Yesterday, could it be yesterday still somewhere? I suppose it could be, or tomorrow, more likely. Wherever you are watching in Europe, in North or South America, across the Far or Middle East, down in Australia, New Zealand, you're very welcome. Martin Haven, Neville Hay and Chris Parsons watching the action. On board here, the number 42 Zytek Nissan. That's just stopped in 4th place, that car. Michael Krum going back out. Did he lose a spot? I think he did to Lucas Luhr in the other Zytek, the 38 Jota car. So battle for position there. Yellow flags at Marshall's post 8. That is the exit of the corner here. So as we come up under the brow, should see yellow lights on and flags being waved. We do indeed. And that means somebody's gone off. Let's ride with Krum and see who and where. I see Marshalls. I see no cars. Michael Krum, though, being cautious down into the Forest S's.
He is being very cautious, isn't he?
And just come out of the pits.
Can't see any
Car
ships.
45 has spun. I can't see any ships either, Neville. I was waiting for somebody to join those dots. It's the Oak Racing Nissan, the gentleman driver car. Jacques Nicolet, Jean-Marc Merlin and Philippe Mondelot. Loving my French accent, aren't you? And can't tell who's in it. Meanwhile, back in the pits. See, that's one of the great things about being a pit reporter. Everybody says, well, how do you walk up and down for 24 hours at a time? Well, because cars are always coming in. They keep you going. From wets to slicks, the 67 IMSA Matmut Porsche. Now, that, I would venture, is a bold move. But then Wolf Hensler, their pro driver, is a bold man. He's obviously decided these wets are giving up the ghost. Time to get me onto something with no grooves. Now, this could be the Michelin soft immediate. Kind of intermediate, but with no grooves on, so what we're calling super soft tyre.
Yes, it does appear to have stopped raining at the moment as well. So maybe he's drying. This is drying out, and as he's going out for a full stint, put him on an intermediate at worst.
Good call. It is not raining here also.
No.
In the very famous words of Master Tony Hancock. Margin A watching proceedings. The Audi driver of the number 3 car, Ollie Jarvis, currently giving it a thorough spanking out on track. But in front of him, we saw a change about 5 laps ago now, probably, between Nico Lapierre, who's now 3rd, and Sébastien Buemi, who's now 2nd. And Buemi roaring away from Lapierre. He's now 14 seconds in front of Lapierre at the end of the last lap. And he's lapping 3-4 seconds a lap every lap. So Sébastien Buemi, the former Toro Rosso driver, again giving his car the full whip.
His last lap was quicker than Loic Duval, and as we know, Duval is the real speed merchant in the Audi team at the moment.
He's not hanging around.
Done
of course,
that 2 or 3 times. That's 3 or 4 laps now. He's
of course, these
probably
things,
saying about 6 or 7 seconds.
These things slightly come and go a little bit, don't they, empirically, because of where you catch traffic. But you're right. I mean, they are both on absolutely front-running pace.
Maybe that's something we should discuss, Martin, because at a meeting with Audi the other day, they were telling us that they actually count the number of overtakes that a car has during the 24 hours.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. I wouldn't be remotely surprised to find that Dr. counts the number of driver bowel movements as well. If we're getting into that. Honestly, I can't conceive of any aspect of this race that is not thoroughly documented by Audi.
They actually sit someone down back, I don't know whether it's at Ingolstadt or in Brackley, and probably the mechanic that's made the worst pit stop, Boo, he has to sit there for 24 hours and mark every overtake.
He watches the ziggy-zaggy screen that we're watching with all the little numbers moving around that tells you where everybody is, and he sits there and tries desperately not to nod off for 24. Do you know what? It's probably a computer program that does it for them.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it not?
It's not. It is a person.
It's a genuine blurk.
Yeah.
And he's not allowed to go to the loo either.
and the number.
Sometimes I do regret starting threads. This may just be one. Go ahead, Chris.
And the number comes out at 1,400 overtakes.
Well, every race?
In a 24-hour race.
Every time? Or
not exactly.
Okay.
And they reckon that the Audis have to go offline, pick up debris, marbles and things, 4 times a lap.
Now what I want to know is, what is the total cumulative weight of the marbles that are picked up by an Audi in a race? See, 300 laps, 1,400 passes or so. That's carrying on. It's quite a lot a lap.
Yep.
3 into 14. That's 5 a lap every single lap.
Well, that goes with the having to go offline, that tallies
3 or 4 times.
Yeah. So that tallies.
Because of course there will be the occasional gimme where somebody's in the gravel, but that is very occasional.
This is all getting a bit too clever for me.
Nev, since the day Audi decided to do this, they've been too clever for simple folks like us.
Yeah, but he's in the computer busin's I mean, there's no problem with people like him.
But he was told, so it's not quite like it counts. 32 Lotus, the remaining Lotus, leaving pit lane and an outlap, and again, just tyres. So Dominic Kreiheimer in that car deciding, yep, it's dry enough. Now, again, cars that are, how can I say this without sounding ridiculously dismissive of what is actually a really good effort? Cars that are not in the immediate hunt for victory or podium in their class and are now consisting of flogging the car around to get as good a finish as they can out of it. They are in the position where they can amend their strategy and go, right, now it's time for slicks, let's go for slicks. Or, as in the case of Jacques Nicolet just a few laps ago, actually, do you know what? Really not comfortable on these slicks, let's get onto wets because I don't want to wreck this car, I want to finish. Whereas Audi, I'm thinking a much less likely to be flinching because the weather are much more likely to be locked in. See, Nicolet with the grooves on his tyre. Now, those are not regular grooves. Those are being cut. So, what tyre manufacturer? Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we are going to talk amongst ourselves because we're going to point out for a moment or two that
they've done.
Just look at the last laps. I'm always getting interested in this. Now we've just seen Duval on a 3:46.
With Buemi on a 3:45.
Yeah.
But another factor we have to bring into it, that I'm afraid that the Toyota pit stops are slightly longer than the Audi ones. Although the organisers have allowed them a faster flow rate, they have a larger tank, and therefore it is taking longer to fill.
Yeah, they get another 3 litres, I think it is.
Well, Chris, when you're stood at the pumps with your Bentley, it takes you longer to fill it than it does when I'm standing there with my little Mercedes, and that's just, you know, it is unfortunate fact of life. More fuel that goes in, longer it takes, unless you can force it in under pressure. Well, you don't fill up your Bentley, well, you push it everywhere.
I don't have a Bentley.
Oh, I've seen it. Is that not yours?
No, it's a Jaguar.
I thought you brought a Bentley down the other year.
No, that's my TR.
Lady.
That's my TR.
Okay. I could have sworn you came in a nice old Bentley a few years ago.
I wish I did.
I nearly bought a... Well, it wasn't a very nice old Bentley.
It's nice, isn't it, working with people with a different class of car.
Yeah, a different class of car.
We haven't got to the Alvis yet. That's a really classy car.
That is a really classy car. Now, there you go.
Have you still got your Morris that?
No, I was going to talk about Baby Brundle, because Alex Brundle is having... Oh, I see now. I really don't want to say
you
this,
shouldn't have said that, Martin.
His father would be pleased with the way he has driven over the course of the weekend.
Has he got safely past the first chicane yet? Let's just
His father would be very pleased with the way he's driven
his dad is very pleased. In fact, I spoke to Martin just before the race, and we were talking strategy and weather and what's it going to do, and we kind of agreed that it was going to do pretty much what it had done all week, like it does in the UK. But Alex Brundle in the lead of the race, first participation 2012, when his co-driver was a certain Brundle M, Esquire. And Martin he was professing on Twitter earlier not to have itchy feet. He said, yeah. Then we got to the drivers' parade, and I did think, I'm in the wrong place watching this, and I'm not quite sure how he felt standing on the grid getting ready for the start when he could easily be the co-driver perhaps in a car. And I think that's difficult, but I think he's going to be, if his son finishes on the podium in only his second ever Le Mans, I think he is going to be, and rightly, enormously proud. And Alex is turning into a very fine young sports car driver. And again, we've got Morgan's first and second, so hello again to Charles Morgan, who I'm sure is awake somewhere. And none of them got 3 wheels at the moment.
He learned a lot last year, Alex Brundle, there's no question about that. And I think that probably it was quite a good idea that they should start together, because it brought him confidence as well. I really still like to see Martin drive the race from time to time.
Yes, absolutely.
I do hope we'll see him back here again.
Yeah. Do you know, I wouldn't be unsurprised. I think he's getting to the stage where if it doesn't happen in the next 12 months, it might not happen again, because eventually you're going to get fed up of being an athlete who's actually not getting any chance to use your athleticism, and so the training kind of goes a bit. That was the 3rd place car, incidentally, and that's the Boussin's Union car, the 3rd place car in LMP2, driven by Lucas Lew at the moment. The Jota car, which is another car with a lot of British influence, because it's got Simon Dolan and Ollie Turvey in it, and then of course Jota is based in Kent, a British team. They're 3rd, so we've got British driver first, Alex Brundle in LMP2, British driver second, Martin Plowman in LMP2, a guy who's raced predominantly in the States in the last few years, particularly in Indy Lights, and Plowie not really very well known, I don't think, by British fans, and certainly by British sports car fans. Again, in a really good position. There is the Jota car. Lucas Lew, guaranteed safe hands, ex-Porsche driver, ex-Audi driver, and doing a great job in the States with Muscle Milk and their Greg Pickett's P1 program, winning races left, right and centre, one in the LMP2 Porsche, and a solid gold, or in his case, I'm sure, platinum addition to the Jota crew. And again, for them to finish on the podium, it's going to be a massive, massive boost for Sam Hignett's team, and if they can do it, it's going to be a hugely well-deserved result.
Another second snatched back by the Toyota there. this is getting to be quite an exciting contest.
Every lap now, it's a second. It seems to be a second quicker.
It's going to be quite an exciting contest, and I'm just looking. 18 as opposed to 16 pit stops, 15 only for Lapierre. That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, again, he may owe us a stop, but we'll have to wait and see when that comes in. Darrell Young, Canadian-born, San Francisco educated. I went through this before. Hong Kong Chinese driver.
Very good. You got that absolutely.
Races regularly in the FIA World Touring Car Championship, in the Carrera Cup Deutschland, in the Asian Carrera Cup. He's a twice winner of the 12 Hours of Bathurst. And somebody's wiper arm has come off. Didn't get that from Halfords, did he? That's not doing an awful lot of anything, really. I was going to say, you would think he'd get bored and turn it off, and bingo, he did. So, you know, wiper arms and wiper blades, you think, how difficult can it be? They're doing 190 miles an hour. Actually, quite difficult.
Were you here when we had the discussion over wiper blades? Because, was it Chris? You said that somebody has developed a new... No, it's Audi, isn't it?
Audi.
Who have developed a new form of wiper blade that copes with A, the high speed, B, the curvature of the screen, and C, is obviously efficient. And I said, as far as I was concerned, the best wiper I'd ever come across was on Mercedes, and they seem to have done it so well that they weren't letting anybody else copy it.
Well, they used to have pantograph wipers, didn't they, all the time? And now they've kind of drifted away from that and gone for a slightly more conventional two-wipery thing. So, wagging the tail over the 911. By the way, if you're looking at the new factory Porsches and wonder, what is that thing they've got all over the roof? It's 50. 91150 it says across the car, because it's the 50th anniversary of the 911. Darrell Young being strapped in. His LKM sponsorship all over this Ferrari.
Slicks again.
Yeah. And again, after Pier Giuseppe got out, fresh set of tyres, full tank of gas for the driver. And, of course, in this business, you get in and you hope, because you haven't had a chance to have a bit of a conflab with him, Darrell will be hoping that Pier Giuseppe left him a brake pedal that is actually capable of doing something. I'm sure he would have radioed in if the brakes needed attention. But, you know, in the old days, that was certainly something you really had to trust. You trusted your life in your co-driver, that if there was something really germane to the car's survival, and hence yours, he would mention it. Now with radios, it's perhaps, and so much telemetry, it's perhaps a little more obvious. Pit road for number 2 car. This is our race leader, Loic Duval. And the question is somebody standing by in a helmet to take over, or is this a quad? Is this a quintuple stint?
No tyres being bought out.
No,
yet.
That means no driver change. Now, somebody asked me earlier, what do they clean the screen with? And at the risk of sounding facetious, screen cleaner. Commercially available screen cleaner. Various different teams will use various different ones, and teams do use tear-off windscreen covers, like you'd have a tear-off visor in a single-seater. Probably one, maybe two on a car at the absolute most, if you think it's going to be filthy. Probably only one, because they tend to distort the vision even more than these highly curved screens.
Having said they won't go to change the tyres, they are.
Now, in which case, that's wet tyres coming off. Well, that's not a surprise, but he is staying in, Loic Duval, so he gets a fresh set of slicks. Now then, I'm not sure when those wets went on. A full stint ago.
What?
Now
there was a bit of hesitation there.
I wonder whether he was told to stop because they didn't want an unsafe release. Maybe he was waiting for the red light at the end of the pit lane to change. Maybe he just had a few too many revs on slick tyres on a wet apron. You are not allowed to wheel spin away from the start. Somebody asked why not, and actually, really for safety reasons. It's not because the ACO don't like black stripes on the tarmac, although the ACO don't like black stripes on the tarmac. It is for safety reasons. Alex Brundle is out, so full service on our LMP2 leader. So Brundle is out, and pole setter Olivier Pla, who snatched the class pole in literally the final 2 minutes of qualifying on Thursday night, gets back into that car.
And there's the next Audi in the Andre Lotterer car.
This is the recovering number 1, which is now in front of the LMP2 leader, who is Martin Plowman. So yay Plowy. So
he's made up a whole lap. He's 8 laps behind the leader now.
yes. So we saw him unlapping himself.
It was 11, so he's actually made up 3 laps since his long stop when they had a...
And do you know what? That is just stunning pace, because he's not catching a hobbled leader. He's catching a leader who's keeping the rest of the field at bay. It's astonishing pace.
Well, he's kept this pressure up constantly. Yeah, OK, we've seen 3:55 for Duval, 3:49 from Buemi. Where's his time? 3:47.
3:47. It's insane.
So he really is push, push, push.
Well, this is, you know, this is really the time, were it dry, when very frequently the fastest laps of the race are set.
Changing tyres look also on the Peugeot. Now, did we have a change of driver there? I didn't notice.
I thought that was a Toyota.
Yeah,
Sorry, I meant the Toyota.
Do you know, if it was red and white like they used to be the last time, it would have made our lives
a lot easier, wouldn't it?
For simple men like us, it's just too much.
Did they change the driver? That was the thing.
No.
No, right, fine. Because...
that stop did take Sebastian Buemi out of second and allowed Nico Lapierre to go back into second, but Lapierre owes us a stop now compared to Buemi, and so that should flip-flop back and forth.
I mean, but one thing you are right on, Neville, the number 7 car, it does seem to be making less stops than
it does.
Than its teammate, and less stops than the Audis.
Yes, they're playing a little game here, aren't they? There's no doubt about that.
Have I mentioned car 55 recently?
It's gone straight on again.
I know.
Car 55.
Did I speak about them?
Where are you?
Did I speak about them in glowing terms at any stage? Oh, it's Darrell O'Yar. Of course, I was just talking about Darrell O'Yar.
Well, you're going confused.
I really have got to give this business up. I am cursing.
You're confused. You said he was a Canadian who was educated in America, who comes from Hong Kong, who was working in Germany. The poor chap doesn't know whether he's punchboard or countersunk.
He had...
So he went straight on.
No chance, did he? I talked about him for 2 minutes solid. He had no chance. He was always going to go off. Where? At the first chicane. and the reason so many... See, why don't they go off here at the S's? Why didn't they go off at Terre Rouge? Because the tyres that come out of the tyre oven are still baking hot here. But by the time they've got round at a moderate but not really high speed onto the Mulsanne, down to the first chicane, the tyres are stone cold and possibly even out of their temperature range. So you touch the brakes, straight on, up the escape road. Welcome back to Le Mans. A couple of minutes ago, we saw the number 8 Toyota from second place coming down pit road. Sebastian Buemi changing from wets onto slicks, surrendering second place. It will now come back to him as teammate Nico Lapierre, who inherited second at the beginning of this lap, comes in at the end of it because we can get a commercial break in during the course of a 1 lap.
And it's a change of driver as well.
OK, well, we saw Alexander Wurz, didn't we, lurking with intent, or without garage, to be slightly more accurate, and folds his... Do you know, sometimes you look at Nico Lapierre, jockey, Kazuki Nakajima, jockey, Alexander Wurz, basketball player, and you wonder, how on earth did they choose this lineup? You've got somebody who's 6'5" and change, and somebody, and two other drivers who are about 5'5" and change.
Did you know that his wife has written a book?
Julia?
Yeah.
Super ego?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Well,
Why?
she has written a book. So
I referred to him earlier as when he was going off somewhere as the husband of authoress Julia.
oh, well, there you are, you see.
I also know that Julia is here on a girls' weekend with Kelly McNish and a bunch of others as well, because they're close friends and close rivals, but close neighbours in Monaco as well.
Well, I can't get her to autograph it because it's on mid-Himble.
Yeah.
And yeah, new tyres going on, slicks, and the intermediates that they've just taken off just behind them.
Yep. One last point on Super Ego at Julia Wirtz, available on e-readers now, is that, in fact, the boss of the mythical Formula One team exists in the cybersphere. He has a Twitter account. Doesn't tweet very often, actually, so Julia, you know, get one of the kids on it or something. But no, certainly around the Monaco Grand Prix was tweeting about his team. The Lamborghini engined entry,
Yes.
with all of that entails.
Yes, yes.
In fact, while we're talking books, first of all, Michael Crum's book, it's called Driven to Win. Very, very good book indeed. We mentioned Duncan Hamilton's book, which is another cracking read, although Adrian, his son, would dispute some of the details of the 1953. Well, yeah, there we go. It's a cracking yarn anyway, and you know, as David Niven used to say, there's some real things in the biography. Oh dear, now wheel gun problem there. No, he's got it all done on Thierry by TDS car. What we're talking about, one of the best books about motor racing features as its central character a dog. Go and look out Racing in the Rain. That's a good one.
That's
there is the Straka.
There's Racing in the Gravel.
And is that Nick Leventis at the wheel of that, or is it Johnny Kane? It's Johnny Kane. It is Johnny Kane. Facing backwards. Now then, we talked about the fact right at the beginning of the race that this car has not got a spare nose cone. And I said, right, so if you're going to have one, hoik on the handbrake at the last minute and go in backwards. Good boy, Johnny. Good boy. I didn't say it to him, of course. I just mentioned it rather facetiously on air. Be careful with that axe, Eugene. If you pull the nose off, you will retire their car.
And don't run over it.
Yes. So he's looped round on a greasy bit of outfield, I would suggest.
Trying to work out where that is, actually.
Yeah, well, I know that.
Would you like me to tell you?
In fact, it's just outside our window.
Yes.
Yeah, just here.
See, just there, that car with the digger. Yeah, it's that one.
It's a bit of a sort of a close pace to give somebody a toe, isn't it, with all these lads coming by?
Meanwhile, wave. Oh, no, the camera's facing the wrong way. Wait, no, never. Meanwhile, something going on at Rebellion, and didn't quite see why they were cleaning the bodywork, other than the fact that it was off.
Do you think he's done? Well, yes, he's
trying to shorten the strap up now because it's too long. Johnny's rolling backwards, which is not
I think he's out.
No, he's out of it. He's out of it. It's all right.
Very good. And he's at the exit, or the entrance to the Ford chicane. Pit entry road temporarily blocked by Kane J of this parish. And now he finds there's lots of terra firma. There's lots of very different little bits of entry road here.
And he's found a new way into the pits.
Well, do you know what? That is about the best place to spin, because you then get the chance to come straight in and get the tyres checked or changed, and the car checked, or not changed, but checked anyway. And Straka right there. They were ready, willing and able. Slicks are ready. Yeah, I don't think they're the softy, spongy, intermediate-y things. Super softs. I do like the new matte livery on the Straka. That's very attractive indeed. Sort of matte luster to it. The tyres are ready. I'm assuming because it was such a low-speed spin. Well, they are going for tyres anyway. Is 12 coming back out? Yes.
Yeah.
See the nose, incidentally, you're used to seeing dive planes onto the front of the car coming out horizontally. They've got vertical fences as well. That's for cutting down drag, apparently. Not it tidies up the air around the front wheel arches, really substantially helps to cut down drag. things what you never knew.
So that car is still in 6th place.
Oh, so, well, might have lost a place were it not for the fact that while they were sitting stationary, in fact, it's not. They have lost a place to Johnny Kane. Despite Kaney's spin, Neil Yarney going out triggered the pit lane beacon, and he has, in fact, lost a lap, I would think, to the track at the very least. Didn't see when the car went into the garage. So, unfortunately, unlike the old days where we stood above the grandstand facing the pits and we could look down and see these things.
Actually see what was going on.
We now have to rely on the telly pictures, which are not, despite what you might think, omnipresent.
I'm just watching the lap times again. Duvel and Buemi. Buemi had about half a second on him last time. Duval comes through first. He's now done a 3:32.5.
Now then, there's Nick Heidfeld out of his car, which Neil Yarney has just taken over. And in fact, as Johnny Kane has tripped the timing beacon, he has gone back behind the number 12 Rebellion car. So they hold their position as they were having their issues. Johnny Kane was creating an issue of his own. And Andre Lotterer, not yet on the same lap as the Straka, I don't think. Have to wait and see how that transpires. Lotterer might now start to pick off actual P1 cars instead of just GTM, GTE Pro and P2 cars, which he has all successfully left behind him.
Yes, there's still 2 laps in it.
And still 10 hours to go.
Yeah.
Or 9 hours 59 for those of a more pedantic nature. So in a couple of minutes, we will have our 10 minus 2, 14-hour roundup.
Takes a bit of time at this time of the morning.
You look at the screen, you go, yes, and it's 9:58 in the morning. No, it's not. It's 9:58 left, which is I'll look at my watch now and not resort to the screen. It's 5 o'clock. It is 5 in the morning here, and actually by this stage, the roseate fingers of dawn should be starting to streak across the sky. And that sort of means that it's quite cloudy still.
Yeah, they're not.
On a clear day, you could see forever. Certainly by this time, on top of the tribunes, where we faced the grandstand there, on the left of your picture was where the sun would come in, viz. The east. And so we would be staring into the early morning sun from 4:30ish, 5 o'clock. Certainly we might be seeing it. I think perhaps it's a bit of a dark, sort of almost like having a race in March. Imagine that. Cold, wet, miserable.
We're on the Isle of Man.
Yeah, looking out the back of our cabin. Any light coming up?
10 hours to go, 14 hours in. These are the positions. It is still the number 2 Audi that leads. It's still got a titanic battle going on between 2 Morgans from different teams and the Zytex 3rd and 4th in the LMP2 class. In the GTE Pro class, Porsche have the upper hand at the moment over Aston Martin. Porsche, Aston, the top 3. Porsche, Ferrari. And look at that. The battle between the Porsche and the 2 Ferraris, all on the same lap at the moment for 4th position in the class. And of course the top 3 were split from the rest of the GTE Pro field by the first safety car of now 8. Record 8 and counting in this race. And Raymond Narak is leading the GTE AM class with the orange numbers and the orange lights on their cars on the side. And he is in the IMSA Matmut Porsche. Second in that class, Daryl O'Young in his Ferrari. Third, Matt Griffin in his Ferrari. So we've got a Frenchman, a Hong Kong Chinese and an Irishman, first, second and third in the class, with Joe Foster 4th place, having taken over from Patrick Dempsey in the Dempsey Del Piero Proton engineering car. Yellow flag at Marshall's post 8, which is the beginning of the S's. SRT, boys. Shh, now, quietly. That is for Y, Keats, for Y. And if only he could turn around. I'm assuming that's a P2. Assuming that is... it's the KCMG car.
Oh, well, I suppose...
He's going to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not, though, is it? No. Hush my mouth. It's the DKR car. I'm sorry. Yeah. I am continually getting my acronyms together.
Don't bang it into the wall, though, because that will cause you more of a problem.
Well, we did have a question earlier on. Do prototypes have reverse gears?
Oh, yes, they have
Oh, yeah.
reverse gears.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do indeed. And lots of them. No, just the one.
But half the time the drivers don't know where they are.
Well, because generally speaking, not that bothered about where reverse is, much more bothered about where first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth are.
He's
And of course,
close to that wall there.
Of course, with flappy paddles, now you don't have to lift the detent out of the way, so you can hoik the lever back, you know, that stops you doing it in a fit of down-braking exuberance at a chicane, somehow slotting it down from fourth neatly into reverse. Now with the flappy paddle gearbox, you can't do that. I don't know if some of them, though, you need to maybe press another button so you don't accidentally select reverse in the pit lane.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you know, with a flappy paddle, there's nothing to stop you just clicking it down one more from neutral and into reverse. Go!
That was going to happen.
And that is one of our fronters in GT Pro.
And there's
Paolo Ruberti
involved in that.
It's raining
and
over
it's
there.
Daryl O'Young.
Yes, it's raining, and that's why.
That is Paolo Ruberti and Daryl O'Young. Daryl gets away. Ruberti up there does not. He makes contact with the recalcitrant number 39 of Romain Brandela, who has had more spins than your average hot washing machine. And that was the car that was in fourth and second in the AM class. Daryl is second in the AM class in that Ferrari and gets through by the skin of his teeth.
Well, he's
Look at
gone
that.
truly.
There he is across the grass.
But he's in the gravel.
Yeah, Paolo Ruberti is off there.
He's in the gravel.
And Daryl...
But actually, that didn't look as if it was his fault.
No, I don't think it was.
It was the LMP2 car.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was
It came
innocent.
straight across on him.
Yes, he was having a monster dawdle and then a meander, and I'm afraid mimsing of the most black flaggable order.
Guess what I think is going to happen next? I think we're going to have a pace car.
Well, do you know what? I'm not sure. I would think you can drag that with a local yellow. It depends. Well, it's there already.
Oh, it's there already.
The snatch tractor is there, ready to snatch.
Brilliant stuff.
And Paolo Ruberti, not long on patience when he's been taken out in a situation like that, I would warrant. However, he has got a race to try and win, so he will try and keep his bad temper for when he gets back to the pit lane later. In the AM class, it is still the Porsche of the IMSA Matmut team that leads. Daryl Young second in that 55 Ferrari, Matt Griffin third in the 61 Ferrari. I did not see which Ferrari went by, but it was either 51 or 71. One's got a green stripe down the windscreen, one's got a blue one, I forget which. I think...
And it's quite difficult to see at this time of night, Martin, isn't it?
But well, the strip's very easy to see. I think the green strip is 51, Giancarlo Fisichella. Incident involving cars 39 and 88 under investigation. Yes. Well, the stewards will take a look at that and pronounce. And any investigation that involves contact will be... any situation that involves contact will be investigated as a matter of course.
Well, now you can see that he's got some damage to the front of that car.
Not badly damaged. He's got it lit, though.
Yeah.
Okay, it won't hold, but he's trying to get it started.
Yeah.
When he turns the key, and oh yes, when you buy one, they give you the ignition key. When he turns the key, it's all the lights are coming on, but it's not catching just yet. Red hot racing engines often take a bit of patience to get them restarted.
That looks a bit more lively.
Very easy to flood, unfortunately. Now, of course, he's pointing the wrong way on a gravel area behind a barrier, so he's now got to figure out and be told, you want to go straight on there, mate, or back up and turn left, or whatever it is. So whatever you do, do not go against the direction of travel or get stuck in the gravel again. Oh dear, panic not over yet for the Porsche. Indianapolis, one of the fastest corners on the circuit here at Le Mans, down into Arnage, one of the slowest and one of the easiest on which to make a mistake. We're in a battle here for position, the number 2 Audi e-tron Quattro. This is beg your pardon, this is our race leader, Loic Duval,
putting a lap
putting a lap on the Toyota of, you've got to assume, Alexander Wurz there. And that is going to be a mighty step for him to get a lap lead over either of the 2 Toyotas that are chasing him in 2nd and 3rd place. Will be a very big step forward indeed. It is car number 7, according to my timing screen, which is Alexander Wurz in 3rd place. In comes the number 39 car, which was a victim of its own making, I'm afraid. Caused an incident as well after recovering from being off the track. Not much damage at the back of that car, but they will have to make sure that the modesty panel on the back remains intact. The rear bodywork clips, I'm sure, will be detached and a new piece put on. And then Romain Brandler, for 'tis he, will be free to pop out again and get in somebody else's way. Afraid the stewards are probably going to summon the team manager fairly shortly. Not quite sure what sort of penalties there might be for mimsing. Damaged bodywork comes off. Quick check underneath to make sure that things like the protective bar at the back and gearbox casing and so on are a-okay. Rear lights are working. So again, they're removing the
wing,
panel by the wing there. Yep. And here comes the car that ran into the back of the very slow and randomly driven number 39 car. And Paolo Roberti, well, we saw for a while he had lights but no engine. Now he's got engine but no lights. Now he switches the lights back on.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, after an impact like that, the one real Achilles heel of the 911 era of GT3 racer and GT2 racer for that matter before it is that all of the cooling is right behind the front bodywork, all the way around those front ducts, front vents, as you see him sprinkling gravel everywhere through, I mean, again, through no fault of his own. All the cooling is right there, so they will have to have a very good check of that, because if they send him back out with a hole in the rad, then, you know, 8.5 miles to get back to the pit lane, it's entirely possible he might not make it.
Wouldn't have enough for a cup of coffee.
Proton, you know, he certainly would. Not the pressure that they have to run the systems out. If there's a leak, it doesn't just dribble out, it comes out like a flood. The 88 car, the Proton car, has dropped, I'm afraid, from what was battle for 4th or 5th in class down to 9th or 10th.
One of the mechanics went flying there.
Knocked him for 6, actually, as they whirled the thing round.
It's just not having the best of runs, this car, is it? It's even running over its own team.
Yeah. Off he goes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Without a rear light.
Oh,
so
well,
he'll
be back.
Don't worry, he'll be back.
He will be back.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially since he's already on the naughty boy list anyway.
Yes.
His card, as we would have said in the old days, Nev, has been well and truly marked.
Yes.
I think.
Headmaster study, I think.
Yeah. There's a car behind him flashing. Oi, mate, you've forgotten to put your lights on.
He's done it again.
Oh, my Lord. And that is the 2nd place Toyota.
I think, you know, that somebody needs to have a word.
Yes.
Like,
right in front of the Toyota.
should you not perhaps look for another form of employment?
Well, you see, the problem is he's not employed. It's not the team that has hired him.
Yeah.
If we can put it that way. He is a gentleman driver, although a wealthy amateur might be slightly more to the case in what we've seen from him so far. Very unfortunately, not only is he causing the team an awful lot of heartache, but he's almost had 2 other cars off the track. And in fact, is this one of the cars? Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm looking for a piece of paper.
Yes. We saw the cars just on Mulsanne there, and there was a lot of spray.
Yes.
So it could well be raining again over there, although it doesn't appear to be where we are by the pit-in road.
I think we're all right here, but I think there is some rain over there. But we had this actually yesterday afternoon. I was sitting in the motorhome, and 150 yards up the road it was raining.
Yes,
simple as that.
It's very localised.
Yeah.
Well, luckily it wasn't filling your gin up, Nev. I mean, that would never have done.
I haven't got any gin. I'm terribly sorry.
What?
I haven't got any gin.
What?
It was his whiskey.
Whiskey, yes.
It was diluting the whiskey.
I will have you know, I only had one glass of white wine.
Roman Brandela
Well,
and Stefan Raffan are both in the number 39 car, are both rookies here at Le Mans. I think Roman Brandela might find it a little difficult to get an entry next year.
And Loic Duval is going to be feeling very pleased that he's pulled back a couple of seconds.
I tell you what, Loic Duval's race engineer won't be feeling entirely pleased that he's still got to get round Roman Brandela. 39 car is currently at the Mulsanne corner as our race leader comes down to the second chicane on the Mulsanne straight.
Martin, just keep on talking about number 39.
Oh, good call, and then he'll go for the first chicane.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you see, the problem is, the flip side to that is every time he goes off, he takes somebody else off, either in the act or you know, near after, or indeed in the retrieval afterwards, or the return from the pit lane afterwards, or at some stage anyway. So race leader now coming onto the fastest part of the circuit as he comes out of Mulsanne corner. He will start the run up to Indianapolis. In front of him is the car that for a long while was the leader in the GTE Pro class. He flashes Fred Makovici as he goes by. That car is second, and chasing Romain Dumas, who is 2 minutes 52 up the road in front of him. Leader now approaching maximum velocity. V1, V2, hit the brakes, down inside the Boots and Chignon car, who just ventures a little bit offline to give him the room, but enough that he knew that the car was committed. And again, out of Arnage. Should we turn the mics off and just have a little listen? Doesn't make a lot of noise. Just as smooth and rhythmical as you like. Loic Duval, our race leader, using just enough curb and no more in the forward chicane, and keeping everything very neatly under control in the Porsche curves. And substantially more noise from the onboard camera than you ever hear from the side of the road from this car. And that last lap we rode on board with 3:28.1. No wonder he looked so fast through the S's. And another chance to, or through the Porsche curves, another chance to ride with him onto the Mulsanne straight.
Yes, I think he'd be very happy with that one.
5 seconds quicker than the pursuing Toyota of Sebastian Buemi.
Yeah.
And we can just see a little bit of grey in the sky to the east now.
Which is quick as anybody who's gone in a straight line.
You see how much the Audi's lights pick out there in the darkness. We are getting ready for a driver change now.
Slicks coming out, but with a 3:28.
Yeah. Well, that's
got to be dry.
It's not for Loic Duval. That is for the number 1 car. That is for the chasing car. The 2-time winners here. Andre Lotterer brings the car down pit road. Who is going to take over? Marcel Fessler, Ben Trellier, Andre Lotterer. It's their 3rd year together as a driver lineup. 2 wins in succession. And then a crankshaft sensor problem on the car this year has dropped them right back down the order. New tyres getting ready. Windscreen has a full clean, full tank of gas. Driver out. Yes, out he gets finally, Andre Lotterer. Fueling is completed. Those two bottles, incidentally, one is drink, one is screen wash. Can you guess, boys and girls, why they're very, very different colours?
Well, one tastes a little different to the other.
Doesn't bear thinking about.
Can't see where I'm going, but I know I'm going. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, that apparently is what they are. They've been using the same pressurised system for the last couple of years in the Audi. And little... OK, what are they adjusting here now? OK, they're unscrewing something, hand into an inspection panel, adjusting something. Now, this would possibly be something like a roll bar adjustment or a suspension adjustment. In NASCAR terms, maybe a turn of wedge, but we don't, of course, have that kind of thing. Or are they reaching? They're reaching in to measure something, aren't they? Now, this is a delay. The #1 car, seriously delayed already, could well do without. You can see the inspection panel. So it's not for an adjustment, it is for an inspection. It sort of looks like somebody's unscrewing the lid of something. Would that be a brake fluid reservoir, I wonder? Oil and water systems are under a lot of pressure. If they need topping up, you plug in a pressurized line like an airline. No, I'm thinking...
They're not happy.
They're going to put the car back in the garage.
In the garage straight away.
Boys, I'm thinking that's brakes. I don't know why I'm thinking that's brakes, because his lap times have been very, very decent indeed. But I don't know what else you would have under an inspection hatch that you would not expect to have to top up or adjust. And if it was suspension, wouldn't that be under the nose? Meanwhile, 42 is in, and this is the car that lies 4th in the LMP2 class. Mikael Krum currently at the wheels, sharing it with the two PlayStation Academy graduates, Lucas Ordonez and Jan Mardenborough. Michael Krum, highly experienced GT racer, especially in Japan, spent most of his professional career racing in Japan in Formula Nippon and in Super GT. And long time server of Nissan.
And we should remember that Andre Lotterer spent a lot of his time, a lot of his career in Japan.
Absolutely.
Many people have made their careers in Japan.
Jeff Lees.
Yes.
Well, in fact, another one in the historic race today, Anthony Reid, former Japanese Formula 3 champion, spent a lot of time in Japan. And it's Ralph
Furman.
Yep. In fact, we were talking to Mikael Krum at lunchtime on Thursday, and he was saying, I can't wait that they are sending Lucas Ordonez to a Super GT race in Suzuka in July. He said, I can't wait to take him there. He's going to love it. A GT300 car, 35 to 40 degrees cockpit temperatures. And Michael Krum was just smiling. He said, can't wait to take him there. #1 car's back out on track. What we need now is some indication as to what that might have been. I may have to go and have a look at the Twitter feed. Apparently it's getting brighter in Ireland.
Well, that's nice to know.
There's some definite lightness in the sky here as well. Dawn is coming up.
Yeah.
But it is so cloudy that it's nowhere like as light as it usually is. We have a yellow flag at post 76. Who have you been talking about, Martin?
Yes. Who have you been talking? We've got another yellow flag up, Martin. Now, what have you done now?
Not me. That's not my chicane. Post 76 is Mulsanne corner. It wasn't me. It's car 93.
It's in the gravel trap.
Well, that is one of our two Vipers, Jonathan Bomarito, Kuno Wittmer, and they are the two rookies in the car. So the SRT boys will hope that that it comes back. Tommy Kendall, the third driver in that car, who is in it.
Getting the front off the Porsche. And you recall a little bit earlier on,
oh, it's Tommy
Martin,
Kendall
you were
in the
telling
gravel.
us that the cooling and everything else was at the front of that car.
You can see the
damage.
Bar at the front has been bent as well. So there's a lot of rebuilding going on. I'm afraid their chances of a podium in class have been ruined by the driver of the number 39 car.
Yeah.
La différence avec la Toyota numéro 8.
Well, apologies for that. We managed to drop into an advertising break just as the leader came in for regular service, but no major dramas there. So back out he goes. Just a clean screen and a full tank of super unleaded. And away goes Loic Duval in the number 2 Audi. Otherwise, undiminished in his attentions to the lead of this race.
He's a bit worried about the super unleaded that went in because it's diesel.
He might have a little bit of a problem halfway around the lap.
All right, super diesel pedants. Infamy, infamy. Reportedly a pedal adjustment for the number 1 car. Well, probably not a throttle pedal, I'm guessing. Daily Sports Car tweeting, Audi number 1 back in the box. DKR team take note. No mechanics were skittled in the making of this repair. Indeed, indeed. So, Audi number 1's official tweet says, Andre Lotter brings the number 1 in full service. Benoit goes in the number 1. Yeah, and that bit where you stuck your hand down inside it, no official reply to that, I'm afraid. So.
Was it me, or did we see that Aston in fairly recent?
I think we saw that Aston in fairly recently.
I think he's made a bit of an unscheduled stop there.
I don't think he's a very happy man.
Which one?
The Aston Martin there.
Yes, which one?
We think it's number 98.
No.
I thought it was 98.
No, that's Fred Macco. That's the 99 car that was and is still in second place in the GTE Pro class. Stefan Mucker has just left the pit lane. Now, he's in the Gulf coloured one.
Yes.
Macco is in the day to night, tonight today, dark blue, light blue one, the art car. There are your class leaders.
Yep.
Number 2 Audi, number 35 Morgan Nissan, currently being driven by Martin Plowman, still in the lead of LMP2. And Loic Duval showing no sign at all of getting out the number 2 Audi. Green, it's Porsche leading the GT Pro class, Romain Dumas in that one. And the orange car, and again, Porsche leading in the GTE AM class. Of course, Aston Martin on the front of both those classes in qualifying, giving chase at the moment, but the best Aston in GTE AM is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place. The Stuart Hall, Jamie Campbell, Walter Royal Goethe Gulf car, which is the newest car in Royal Goethe's all Gulf collection, by the way, the one that he himself is driving this year at Le Mans. And there is our art car in front of us, second in class. And the 92 Porsche would be the class leader. Has he just put a lap on the Aston?
I think he has, yeah.
He has just put a lap on the second placed Aston.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had it down the straight there, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And
wow.
with the dawn, we get the rain again. It's now raining outside our studio.
Now there is another, it is indeed, there is another Aston patently right in front. Which one is this? Green board, so that's another GTE. So that's Stefan Mucker in the 97 that had just come out of the pits. So the Porsche is steaming by both of the Astons that are also in podium positions. He is lapped second, or put a lap on, second and third in the GTE Pro class. This from a car that after qualifying looked frankly in quite a lot of trouble in terms of pace, and was not in the lead trio that was separated from the rest of the field by the original safety cars. So they have jumped from the peloton into the lead group and gone to the front, and it now seems put a lap on everybody else. Meanwhile, puncture for the SRT Motorsports car of Tommy Kendall. That is the SRT Viper GTSR. So he has got out of the gravel at Mulsanne with a flat. Now, generally speaking, being in the gravel trap doesn't give you a flat. However, the converse is true. Having a flat often does put you in the gravel.